Hey guys, Tony here from Carton Cloud. I'm here with Jay Dalton, who is the operations manager of Chill. And I just sort of wanted to have a bit of a chat with Jay, just in regards to the industry, where it's going, and even sort of, how Jay got into the industry in bits and pieces. So Jay, tell us a bit about how you got into transport.
Sure, so I spent 15 years in the military.
Yep.
Started from the bottom, driving trucks, and then moved my way through to the operations side of the logistics organisations within the military.
Yeah, okay.
And then about 12 months ago, I saw this opportunity pop up and threw my hat in the ring, and now I'm sitting here, mate.
So did you know Chill beforehand, or you'd seen
No,
it? No,
no, I didn't.
Okay.
I was pretty in that sort of niche industry that's defence, and the wider commercial space doesn't touch it that much.
Yeah, okay.
It does on maybe the bigger picture side of things, but not where I was. So no, I hadn't.
So was it a lot different than what you thought coming in? Compared to what you were used to being in the military, where everything is very regimented.
Yeah.
Then you come into Australia's transport industry, and everything is sort of
a little bit different.
All over the place. It can be.
Look, it has to be honest, it has a lot of similarities to what I was doing between the storage side, the transport side, and just a conglomerate of an end-to-end solution, if you will.
Yep.
So there was a lot of that, but on the flip side, there was the commercial part. That obviously being in defence you didn't have, so that learning that commercial aspect and all that sort of stuff was probably the biggest challenge for me, and and the most exciting part at the same time.
Yeah, okay. So you found it, challenging but exciting?
Exactly. It's
Okay.
especially with what Chill does, and the aspects of the business, and being the 5 things that we can do and provide that full scale solution. It's much more exciting.
Because Chill are a bit more diverse than a lot of other companies. The stuff you guys do, not only the cold storage and the distribution and stuff like that, but also the vehicles. You guys do the trailers, the chill boxes, and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot different than your average sort of transport company.
It is. We are geared up to provide, like I said, that end-to-end solution, from bespoke builds to mobile cool rooms to activations and promotional sampling and things like that. So we do provide that, and it's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. And so, who in Chill has sort of been the teacher, I suppose, or who's sort of directing the ship? How are you going with all of that?
Yeah, so look, I came in and I was pretty green, and Andrew Wade, the managing director, and his sister Lauren, they've been a massive influence over my learning.
Yeah, okay.
Was in the last 12 months, and just being able to sort of bounce things and learn things on the way of people that have been in the industry for 20 years now, and came up with this. Epic idea, and to be a part of that is really good.
Yeah, see, and my background is likewise. And the reason I ask this is, there's been so many really good operations guys, especially old school guys over the years, who I've learnt so much from. And in this industry, it always seems to be that that those people who are there to help you along the way really guide you in who you end up becoming, and what sort of manager you are, and how you run operations and different bits and pieces like that.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a fantastic culture here at Chill, and everybody's really valued, and some of the best ideas that we've come up with and gone forward with have come from drivers, have come from storemen, have come from at any level of the business, and I think that's a credit to the directors by just having that, embracing that sort of culture, and making sure that everybody can contribute and their voices are heard.
Because realistically, unless you are constantly evolving your processes, you just sort of go stale. And I think running operations, it's constantly changing. And you're right. You get ideas from here, there, and everywhere. And unless you're prepared to move forward, and that's what I found with a lot of companies who aren't prepared to move forward with what they do, they get stuck in the rut. They do the same thing. They don't sort of expand, or they don't. But when you've got the good outlook, the good people behind you, and that's the other thing is the people. What sort of changes have you seen in the industry over the years you've been in it?
Well, I think everything's sort of becoming or the necessity to become more traceable and more visible about what's going on and what's happening, especially in a third-party sense, is massive. The ability to show where bits and pieces of product or the client's stock, etc., is at any one time, whether that's collateral, whether that's anything really, is really pivotal. And more and more people are getting on board with automated PODs and photos and trackable things. And soon those who aren't will get left behind and be behind the bell curve. And it's about
because it does come down to the customer's demands these days, and they seem a lot more demanding than what they used to be.
Especially in the third party sense. I mean, it's a full solution, and they're paying, and we're just executing. And they want to know that it's being executed properly, and they want to be able to see it every step of the way.
Long gone are the days when you'd get a phone call and they'd say, I'm looking for it. You'd say, give me the contact number and I'll ring you back in 2 hours.
That's right.
You just can't do it anymore.
You just can't do it anymore. No, that's right. You just you fall too far behind, and there's too many opportunities with other businesses out there that can facilitate that sort of stuff. So for us, it's really important to be completely traceable.
What's the biggest impact Carton Cloud has done for your organisation, do you think?
Well, I think, part of the thing we just discussed was that visibility. There's a lot of warehouse management systems and transport management systems out there that the clients don't have visibility of. And if you're a third party logistics provider, it's really important for them to be able to jump in. And with Carton Cloud, they can jump in, they can download their own stock reports, they can retrieve PODs, they can track consignments and statuses and all this other stuff that they probably never had been able to do before. And I think it's a selling point. It's a selling point that complements our business and the way we go about doing our thing. And I think from that perspective, it's really changed some of the way we can do things.
Do you think it's been a benefit to have Chill all over Australia on the same platform? Having Carton Cloud in the different states?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we obviously are in 4 states, and we do a lot of work for each other. So the exchange of information that we can easily put from tenancy to tenancy is really powerful for us, and it's when we can automate it, it will be even better. And it's really important for the way we operate as a conglomerate. So it definitely has its benefits there.
What is it that you're most proud of, when you come to work here at Chill?
Yeah, right. So, when I joined the business 12 months ago, we had literally just moved into this site now, and we were still, going through all those little things of getting it up to scratch and whatnot. And I think, we've almost doubled in size, Chill Queensland, since I came on board, and the business as a whole has almost doubled in size. I think we grew 47% last year. So to have a team that can execute even when I'm not here is one of the proudest things that for me. I've spent quite a little bit of time away, especially in the last 2 weeks, and we've had a lot going on here. Some new clients onboarding, some new things coming in and whatnot, and for me to have a team that's that good, that can do everything without me having to be in the office, and I can go and focus on other things and other parts of the business, is really powerful.
Which is a really hard thing in the transport industry, isn't it? Being able to walk away from somewhere, and and we get a lot of new customers come on board, and one of their biggest things is, they can't go on holidays. They can't walk away from their business. They can't, not have the fleet controller come in for the day, because unless you've got the right people there and the right process underneath you, it's really hard to be able to walk away.
Yeah, exactly, and it's about empowering those people to be able to do the things that they do without without breathing down the neck all the time, and I think that stems from the directors as well. They have that same sort of approach where they give you the flexibility to do what you do and be as good as you can be.
Well, just walking around the warehouse, and having you give us a bit of a guided tour, but also about the fact that when you're ready to get racking, you'll get racking, you'll source it out, you'll organise it, you'll do all that. I can actually see the pride in your position here with what you do, and the fact that you have been given a lot of leeway to do exactly what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
To make sure it's the right place, you know.
Exactly. So you know, we don't need to rush things. I'd rather you know get things there efficiently and the best way possible. And you know, when the timing is right, we'll get things fitted out where it needs to be, and we'll get to that 100%. But it's a marathon, not a race.
Because the amount of times people rush into it, put down their racking, and then 6 months later, move all their racking over 6 inches, you know, to get, or you know, or rearrange the plan or things like that. So I think you're approaching it definitely the right way. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. You know, scariest things in the industry. What, you know, the stuff you see in the industry, which is a bit, you know, scary. What have you sort of come across?
I suppose, you know, the WHS side of stuff in the industry is massive. We play around with a lot of plant, a lot of machinery, and a lot of things. And, you know, you do see the odd, you know, bit of stock come in that hasn't been, you know, looked after correctly. And, you know, things go haywire a few times, and you know, but that's all part and parcel, really, and it's about putting things in place. So there's some of the, you know, the scarier moments, you know, that has to do with, you know, forklifts and whatnot. So that's probably, you know.
And likewise, thing. You know, the funniest thing, you know, and I mean, for me, it's drivers over the years, you know, you get some characters and bits and pieces, you know, you would have come across those sorts of...
Yeah, we do actually. We've got a couple of guys that pick up stock from us in the warehouse regularly from third parties, and there's some really good characters that flow through the door, and one that should probably go into a life of comedy. He's pretty entertaining, so it's one of the good things.
Nice. And you know, I suppose the memorable things in your time here.
So I guess the memorable thing for us, we do a lot of experiential marketing and promotion of new products, and it really tests all facets of the business, from storage and transport, and then executing the activity and the activation. And I guess that's one of the times when it all works and it all sort of puts everything together and it all happens, and we get this great activation which builds the brand, etc., etc. That's probably one of those moments that you stand back and go, wow, you know, this is pretty good.
Because it is pretty good. You know, we come into the yard and we see the vans out there, and they're all, you know, labelled up with different people's brandings, and you know, and the fridge downstairs as we sort of walk on in, you know, so you do a lot of promotional sort of stuff. You know, even having a look at the little carts with you know, pull behind on the bikes and things like that. Just you know, which is something, you know, it actually takes me back to you know, the Adelaide Oval, you know, being on the hill in the Adelaide Oval and having somebody walk along, you know, with the little freezer box, you know, when, you know, or riding behind on the push bike and, you know, calling out, you know, and you would go over there and buy whatever it was they were trying to, you know, so them sorts of things are,
Look, we have some pretty creative minds in the business, and that stems from the managing director, and you know, we have a promotional team and headed up by Scott Dunn, and he's got a lot of experience in the industry, and comes up with a lot of creative ideas, and you know, we've done everything from carts to bikes to full decked out vehicles to, you know, you name it. You know, we've been there, and we invite people to challenge us in that space to create, you know, moments that matter.
Because I think, you know, the promoting of you know, your customers and their goods, you know, can only be a good thing.
Exactly.
You know, the more they grow, the more we
grow, and it's about, you know, getting that relationship, and that's what we build. You know, that's what we build our client base on, is maintaining those relationships, not just a solution of any kind. It's building the relationship and building their brand, which builds our brand as well. So that's the objective.
Yeah. Okay. All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
You're welcome.
It was greatly appreciated.
Anytime.
Cheers, guys.